Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine, and I'm back to do another review of Survivor Season 32, Episode 2, Brains vs. Beauty vs. Brawn. Alicia is a shrewd player, and I stand by what I said in my first review, that she has the biggest chance to make it to the end, and I feel like they need to look at her as a threat because of the fact that she spent 5 hours working hard on creating that fire and never gave up, and that is exactly how she is going to play this game. Alicia noticed that Jason and Jennifer were whispering to one another and kind of signaled each other, and she realized that perhaps they were deciding whether or not they were going to vote her out, and that was the truth because Jason revealed that to us. Speaking of Jason, he calls Alicia Blondie, useless, all these names, but he's no better because we've barely seen him do anything in this season so far other than complain a lot and get a sunburn. I feel like if Alicia wants to win this game, she needs to trust herself and herself only, because quite honestly, she can't trust anybody on that team at all, because Sydney wants her out, the boys want her out, and if they lose again, she may be the person to go, unless of course she can convince those boys that Sydney is the bigger threat. Ty is worried. He doesn't know where he stands with his tribe, especially after being caught looking for an idol, so he goes after that idol again. To make a long story short, he finds clues, one of which that leads him up a tree to try to grab this little tube that has a key in it so he can open up this box and get the idol. The problem is he injures his feet and almost injures his chest trying to do it. He realizes that the tree is a little too high and he's going to try again, but he has to find the right time to do it. Speaking of Ty, I think that his bromance with Caleb is adorable. The whole cuddle thing was cute, and the kiss thing was cute as well, and I'm glad that Ty decides that he wants to lay low and connect with the tribe, and I feel like getting together with Caleb is a good idea because Caleb is a loyal player. A little kooky, but a loyal player nonetheless. Now let's talk about the Brains tribe. Now, they have fire, they're a cohesive group, but there are little fissures or little fractures, i.e. Debbie, Joe, and Elizabeth. But Debbie is the biggest one because Debbie is annoying everybody with her kookiness, but the thing about Debbie is, like Peter said, she has no game, so they should keep her there really long and just ride along with her despite how annoying and cat lady like he says she is. Joe spilled the kerosene bottle. Now, did he do it on purpose? Well, actually he didn't spill it. What happened was that it tipped over and some of the kerosene got out. But I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but the tribe is kind of pissed at him. On top of the fact that Liz is freaking out because she can't boil any water, even though this group has flint. So they could use the flint, and Liz could go and make a fire. But again, this is another thing that Liz is complaining about. And I understood in the first episode how she was overcome by heat stroke. But I feel like eventually she may self-evict herself. I don't know why, I just get that weird feeling. Also, Debbie is kind of annoyed with taking care of the younger people because they leave their stuff everywhere. So the one problem the Brain tribe has is that it's young versus old. And when they make it to tribal council, because they will eventually, I can see the young people trying to vote out Joe or vote out Debbie. Now, the women could rule the Brawn tribe, but the problem with that is that the women have one person on their tribe, Sydney, who doesn't trust other women. At least that's what I had on my mind when Jen and Alicia were talking about putting together an alliance, and when they asked Sydney to join, I was a little bit skeptical because for some reason I felt like she would run back to the boys because I've seen that happen before, but when she didn't, I was like, okay, but Jen made that mistake at tribal council. Now, Brawn lost the immunity challenge to Beauty, who won the big fishing kit, and Brains, who won the little fishing kit. And the reason why Braun lost is because Scott missed the target quite a few times before he finally hit it, and Peter from the Brain tribe just let bombs away and knocked over his second target, and that's how they won. So really, Scott's name should have been put up there as one of the possible nominees, because Darnell's was first, and honestly, Scott seems to be the weakest link on the team. I know some people are probably like, well, Sage, what are you talking about? Because he and Jason, to be honest, don't do much. It's like the girls, in my opinion, Sydney and Jennifer and even Alicia were carrying the team in that challenge. But that's just my opinion. Now, rather than put up Scott, Jason decides that he wants to scapegoat Alicia. Then all of a sudden, Jen decides she doesn't want to go along with this scapegoating of Alicia, and she wants to get one of the boys out, particularly Jason. I guess she's tired of hearing him calling Alicia Blondie and a ditz and an idiot and all this stuff. But anyway, she brings in Sydney. They could possibly have this great alliance, but then at tribal council, she flips. But even before they made the tribal council, she ran back to Sydney and said, I don't know if we're able to do this. Like, we can't do this, or I can't do this. And I'm just like, but you said you could. Then she made the tribal council and tried to bury Alicia, then tried to get back into the good graces of the boys, Jason and Scott, when she was called out. And she just kept burying herself and burying herself and burying herself till finally she was the person voted out. And I thought it was hilarious how when Jeff Probst was asking Sydney her take on this whole situation, because at one point it was mostly Alicia versus Jen, Sydney was very diplomatic and she made her comment, but she stayed out of it. And some people thought Sydney was going home. I said no. Some people said Alicia was going home. I said no, it's Jen. And lo and behold, Jen went home. And Jen said that she was surprised, which I was just like, I don't know why you were surprised, because you basically blew up your own game. But that's about it, guys. I'll be back next week to review episode 3 of Survivor. I'm Sage Valentine, signing off. Don't forget to rate this video and comment. Let me know what you thought about this episode and the season so far, and who you're rooting for and who you think will win. Until next time. Bye, guys. Love you all. Bye.